The year is 2024, and tensions are at a centennial high in the United States. We need a leader who can unite the country, guarantee our rights, and protect American family values. So in 2024, I'm voting for the only qualified candidate, the Dark Lord Cthulhu, which is why today we're playing Age of Wonders 4 with the new Eldritch DLC to kickstart Cthulhu's presidential campaign, fund it with Paradox sponsorship money, and restore the country to its former glory. God bless America. I'm Cthulhu and I approve this message. So welcome to Age of Wonders 4. As I said, this video is sponsored by Paradox, but I have been a pretty big fan of the Age of Wonders series ever since Age of Wonders Planetfall. So I already did go ahead and make a faction and a race, but I do love some of the different customization things. They're basically dwarves, but better, and slightly more genocidal, and eat people. And our special origin culture, which is kind of like where we came from as a society, we are reavers, which means we just conquer and kill everyone. We're also cannibals, that should be kind of a given for my channel, as well as umbral disciples, which is a new thing in the Eldritch DLC that I will show off a bit later. And obviously this wouldn't be a correct cannibal video if I wasn't using necromancy. Our character is also an Eldritch sovereign, which if you look at the appearance of them, should be relatively clear what that means. Trust me, in this game, we are not the good guys. I do love some of the customization where my Cthulhu guy goes from super thin Wojak to mega thick Nakoto avocado. Right, so we're just gonna go in and select our boys, the cannibalistic Molben Cthulhu creatures, and then create a new world. Hey, so, post-recording me. I've been playing for about 5.5 hours of recording, and I just realized I had the DLC map disabled.
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Welcome to Age of Empires 4. The very first time I'm recording this, I'm so mad. So on the right side is all of our traits over here. So we are, an eldritch being, as has already been established. My method of magic is literally just necromancy. Yet our beautiful ability to declare war without any justification. And you know what? I actually don't remember if I've already explained this stuff because it's been 5.5 hours since I last did. Anyways, we're pretty evil. So the first thing we're gonna want to do is obviously just go around and explore as much as we can with our observer over there. Because if you've never played an Age of Wonders game before, the world map, gives you the same general civilization sort of tile-based vibes that one would expect. But the combat, on the other hand, is significantly different. So as we come over here, then I can go to manual combat, and you will see that we are now actually on the combat map. And this functions a whole lot more like XCOM. So in the sense of us moving all of our units up, as you can see, a whole bunch of our spitterlings, which are basically just really crappy units that we summon for free. Our mercenaries over here, who are just polearm units, and we'll just move absolutely everybody up right now. Then we can end the turn, and at the end of the turn, of course, then the enemies are going to take all of their turns. Okay, that is actually kind of hurting. If you could please stop stabbing my one group of spearmen, please. Now, as literally just straight up Cthulhu, Cthulhu gets a whole lot of abilities that are very special to being Eldritch, such as taking control of an enemy unit. So if I just come over here and I mind control this group of units right there, but that was a 90% well, I did say it was a lot like XCOM. All right, that's fantastic. We've lost several units, well, one unit already. It doesn't matter that much. That unit kind of sucks. So we could just engage our secondary plan of, beating the absolute crap out of our enemies anyways. And I am in love with that animation. It's funny. All right, I am going to hope beyond hope that when I use this 90% chance to turn someone insane, it actually works. This does remind me a whole lot of general Eldritch things, where they are completely unreliable and sometimes they blow up in your face. They pretty much always blow up on your face, don't they? But hey, Eldritch or not, I'm still going to cast a Mind Spike and destroy you from across the map. So now that we win the battle, we are going to get some souls from, eating them. Well, actually, on the topic of eating them, we're going to get food because we literally ate them. Because we are ritualistic cannibalists, every time we kill someone, we get food that goes straight back to our city, which increases the population. Population is what we use to annex all the provinces around our city and expand and generally just increase our production. At the top, we of all of our resources. So we have gold for upkeep, we have mana, which is for casting, as well as some certain upkeep units. War spoils, which is unique to our faction, which is, we're not going to use it a whole lot. Souls, which is for our shadow spells and undead. And most importantly, thralls, which is what we have specifically as an eldritch dude. So first Cthulhu leveled up, so I'm just going to give him eldritch rituals, which is going to allow us to use those actual thralls real quick. And now in the bottom right, we can actually cast spells using them. So if I come over here to a mesmerizing draft ritual, that is going to allow us to cast it right on top of our main capital, and that is going to give us a whole bunch of draft, which we essentially use to recruit units. Then I can use that draft to just queue up a couple of mercenaries, and then we could also go ahead and build a normal building right over here. The last thing we need to do is go and set our arcane research, which is essentially just our normal research trait. This is what we use to get more spells, and the best one we got first actually, which is skeletal animation. Every time we kill racial units, we could spend souls and resurrect them as skeletons. At the beginning of the game, this is really good. And now I can just end the turn, and that is going to pass through everyone else's turn that we can't see right now. Now that a few turns have passed, it's important to look at how do we actually win the game. So if I come over into our quests over here, we have 4 kinds of victories. Military, which is just destroying everyone. Expansion, which is growing pretty much everywhere. Magic, which is a bit more special. And then score, which is essentially when the game ends, whoever has the most points. But we are going to go with a magic victory, which requires us to get a whole bunch of very specific stuff that we'll go through later. But the main gist of it is that we need to find these ancient wonders, which are spread all over the map and have a very specific symbol attached to them. They essentially act like these things over here, but are much larger and a bit more famous. They have really good bonuses, and as soon as we clear them, if we get 3 of them, we could then use them to cast a super spell, essentially, and take over the planet. Plus a whole bunch of other stuff, but generally that's the idea. Oh, I was trying to get rid of this serpent, and begging for mercy through panicked hisses and cries. Now, here is where we have a good and evil system. So if we do a nice thing and we let them go, then they will, well, leave and we get good alignment. But obviously, I literally don't care, because I am not passing up the opportunity for a little bit more money. The more evil we are, the more evil people will like us, and, you know, the entire rest of the world will not. We also just grew our population, so now we can annex 1 more province. So by annexing a province, we can put a farm over here that's going to give us a bit more food income, which will allow us to grow our population even faster. Oh my god, I could annex 2 provinces. I did not realize how many people we ate. So there are a couple of things we've also found around the world, and a big one is an underground entrance over here. So if I click this, we actually head to the underground, which is an entirely different map that has got a whole bunch of local ecosystems and a whole bunch of other stuff there. And going above, as part of the Eldritch DLC, there is also now a new place, which is called the Umbral Abyss, and it's pretty abyssy. Now, we're not going to head there right now, but we will eventually get over here. Our units are very special because they are under our Super Cthulhu man. They don't actually take damage when they're in here, but every other faction in the game will. And we could actually build buildings later that spread the Umbral Abyss into the surface world as well. Oh, we've also found a second city-state over there, which is pretty fantastic. We can't actually do much diplomacy with them right now because our special faction has 0 of these things called Whispering Stones, which we use to actually negotiate with free cities, because we primarily function off just killing them. Oh my god, we also just found our wait, are you also a void person? Fanatic Isolate. I thought that was gonna say Fanatic Purifier. Too much Stellaris. So this is the first person that we've actually met then. I don't really have much interest in saying anything to them besides I declare war on you, but they're also just not really that important for us right now because we have also now gotten enough points to use something in the top left, Empire Development. So as soon as I click up here, we get greeted with a whole skill tree that is in accordance with this thing called our affiliation. So because we are mostly necromancy and shadow stuff, we have 3 shadow affinity, 2 chaos affinity, and 1 materium affinity. That essentially progresses us down each of these lines to get more and more powerful bonuses. And I mean, some of them are absolutely crazy. For example, this one reveals the entire world map. This one doubles your population, and this one makes you raise cities for insane amounts of cash. But for right now, the one that we want is defeating an infestation grants you a unit based on the infestation defeated. What does that mean? Well, over here, you'll see there's this big red area and called a haunted graveyard. This is an infestation. If we don't clear it soon, it will start spawning units that it will then send at our capital. So I could just come over here and try and clear it out. there's really not much of a point in fighting because we absolutely destroy them. And as soon as we do that, we actually get a thrall from this fight, which is fantastic. We should also raise 2 skeleton warriors for 30 souls right there, as well as get a free necromancer. My God. And we are also going to officially meet the free city over here. Okay, so the free city is going to ask me for help. A dark era has befallen us. My people are famished. The harvest failed. Our storehouse lie empty. Will you give us food? Well, actually, I could just cast an eldritch spell on him to make him like me. Now, I don't particularly care about this faction specifically. I'm just going to say no and make them mad at me because I don't care. But it is very helpful for later because if I don't want to do a quest and people are starving and they need help, I simply make them forget that they ever needed help. Oh, your family's being chased by debt collectors? What family? Oh, evil people. I didn't realize they were all the ways down here, but apparently we somehow discovered a faction that is underground. But them I really want to befriend because they're super evil. Actually, almost as evil as me. Fortunately, we did get our first hero over here, though, to join us, which is very nice. And we will go with this character over here, who is a nature adept. That does seem a little bit weird because nature is very much in direct contrast to our current affinities, but getting nature affinity is actually going to allow us to progress down the nature tree a little bit faster because a lot of the buffs on all of the different trains are very, very helpful. Wow, I've only known this person for a couple of turns and already a rivalry. Woo! They're literally an isolationist and they're going out of their way to hate me. Look, I've only committed a minor amount of genocide. Your Honor, I claim oopsie daisy. So we're just gonna completely trespass on their land because, you know, why not? The units look like they're all pretty crappy, so I really don't care. So as soon as I declare war on them, I can now come over here and begin sieging their castle. Wait, they don't have walls. Okay. I take it back. I'm not gonna siege them. I'm just gonna kill them. Well, I thought that was going to be considerably more difficult, but you know, I don't know why I thought that. Wait, I just realized the skeletons, they're racial as well. So you can see they became the frog people that I killed earlier. The skulls look so strange. Wait, do frogs even have skulls? Please, elder gods, I pray to you that this actually works for once. Thank you. So what that did is that made these guys over here insane. So they're gonna start attacking their own allies for just one turn. But of course, the real power of eldritch magic comes in mind control. And there we go. So although it's only one turn of mind control, that's really all I need. I could run over here and immediately tank an intentional attack from those guys, then hit these guys in the face to tank an intentional attack from them, and then do my best to just overwhelm whatever is left. What I can do is buff my own undead, because necromancers can do that pretty much every single turn. Kill a bunch of fire elementals, and then come back and turn those into undead. I'm actually, what do those turn into? Okay, so those become decaying zombies, which actually also have corpse eating. So because we are ravenous cannibals, we can actually eat corpses for HP. I also gave Cthulhu a little spell over here that just lets him teleport for free. And then I can simply use his melee attack, which is, it's not too bad. Right, they are going to decay to death. And then I am just gonna beat the absolute crap out of their last unit, and that's it. By winning, now we can go, and you know, we get a couple of options. First of all, we're gonna obviously raise a couple more skeleton warriors, and then we can decide the fate of this city. And of course, I'm just gonna raise it for money. And obviously, raising is also gonna give me another -20 alignment to my evil. Oh, yeah. You know, we're at -30, and it's not even including me destroying the whole city. That happens in 4 turns. I also took a trade up here that allows us to get 150 knowledge per hero we defeat in combat, and we just killed a hero right there, so now I am researching necromancers in 1 turn. Oh, we also collected the remains of this guy. Is it worth anything? I could sell his remains for $100. Ooh, that is not bad. But I'm just gonna keep him as you know, a dead person in my crypt that I could use for mana. Your new job is mana battery. Also, there is a new person we just met. Fantastic. Are you evil? No, you're neutral. Well, I don't care then. So now that we've completed that tome in terms of research, or at least enough things from that tome, I can now select a new one. So if we scroll through all the tomes, you see there's a whole bunch of new stuff here. We could use pretty much any one of these. The tome we take does heavily influence our affinity over here. So we do want to take a tome of an affinity that we want to further. And for right now, I am going to go with the Tome of the Horde over here, which is going to give us a bit of chaos affinity, as well as a couple other things that are pretty decent. Our first city is also founded over here, and now I can deploy a governor. So we're going to just get our second guy over here to lead it. And when we do that, that is also going to give us a bit of nature affinity, which is fantastic. Chaos and Shadow are our best friends right now, because Shadow is all about that lovely manipulation and resurrection and all of that stuff, and Chaos is about burning down cities, and we're pretty much gonna burn down every city we occupy. Wait, my alignment, oh thank God, I thought my alignment changed to good, because apparently someone just declared a friendship with me, which is, I don't know which person. Okay, this one is -700 relations, so probably not her. Okay, she just declared friendship, and I literally can't even declare any kind of diplomacy with her because our relations are too low. Okay, so the Deepwell person, the free city-state that I want to try and ally, is trying to ask me for a whole bunch of research, but you see, eldritch spell, go! You now love me. And just like clockwork, yep, our allegiance has actually gone up with them. And we're also one of the few people they like because we're evil. Meanwhile, we have Thunderwell up here, a random city-state. We have Flamewall up here, who I really want to kill. Balenford down here. Oh, and there is an Ancient Wonder over here, or a Gold Ancient Wonder. So this is one of the 3 things that we need to win the game. If we clear this and then we can capture it, we do get access to a whole bunch of stuff inside. Also, I am suddenly very scared by the fact that there is a red glow around all of these units. Yeah, that -700, that -700 relations is not looking good. It's kind of great that because I'm a Reaver, I can declare war for any reason at all. You know what? I don't like that eye on your wing. I don't really care to do a declaration of rivalry because honestly, I want to keep the money to keep spending it on a bigger army to kill them, which is why I have been recruiting a whole bunch of mage locks, which are essentially like our rifleman gunners. They are a tier 2 unit that is actually very good. So as soon as I put in my army over here, we can try and test them out, maybe at a desecrated temple over here. That's unfortunate. It looks like they just founded a settlement right up north to us. Fortunately, it's not really a big deal because I'm just gonna trespass, I don't care. And then most likely just declare war on them next turn. I also finally got another Whispering Stone from down here. I can also take something to give us a bunch of knowledge from Whispering Stones and vassals. So now if I come down into this area, we can come talk to them, give them a Whispering Stone. That'll give us a whole bunch of vision, as well as slowly increase our relations with them until we are friendly. Declare war, yeah, you know, easy. So when we get into a siege menu, we can add siege projects over here. Those will give us various abilities and things like that. Right now, though, I'm just going to add something to deal a bit of damage at the start of combat, and that's pretty much all we need to go with. Oh, I also researched Spawn Cam, which is fantastic. That is something I really needed. So my race is very special. If I come into my guys over here, they have something called umbral flesh. That gives them immunity to the astral realm. So all the astral malady, all of the bad stuff that comes from this realm up here, we could just walk around and be completely free, and it doesn't really affect us. Those racial mutations, though, we actually have more. So by getting Spawnkin over here, we can now use this on our own race to make them smaller and give them a whole bunch of bonuses. 20% more damage for non-heroes, 10% evasion, so on. There are a couple of these, and they're great because they stack on top of your entire race. Oh, there is the third person we just discovered. I think you got a little something on your face there. Moonrock Dwarfs. Oh no, I know who these people are. Oh, okay, one of my scouts just accidentally went into the astral realm. Oh my god. Well, I did not know they had this many units, but I think we can win this anyways. All right, looks like we have to kill a fellow eldritch entity, which is gonna be particularly difficult. Oh yeah, this is like the Mother Teresa of eldritch entities. Does that make sense? Now I can finally use my matchlock gunners. They're not really gonna have the impact you think, because they've got a 5% chance of hitting, and this is very normal for them. Sometimes they'll just hit your allies, sometimes they'll just hit a tree, sometimes maybe they'll hit themselves. This gun has at best 60% accuracy, but if they don't move in a turn, you can give them take aim to get plus 80%. So ideally, you want them to stay still. Okay, right now we've just gotta hope that we can actually hold against this massive onslaught of units coming at us. Oh, okay, good. The enemy died over here, so they're gonna turn into a bunch of zombies, and I'm gonna do my best to mind control this hero. I keep oh, yes. So now I can walk over here, hopefully, use a necrotize on these guys, and then try and slap them into oblivion. Oh, I felt that in my gut. Please, gunners, actually try and hit someone. 90%, you know what? I'll just take the 90%. That is why they're not too terrible. They're still not that good, though. The biggest thing we've got going for us is that I'm just trying to resurrect as many units as I can. I am out of casting points. There's not really much else I could do in that front. I've necrotized 3 different units, so as soon as they die, they're gonna turn into zombies. And for whatever reason, they're focusing really hard on those zombies. I'm not really sure. That doesn't seem very worth it. And they're also gonna smack their own hero. Yes, please. But I am very, very scared for Mrs. Cthulhu lady, who is way up here and is just not doing any. Okay, maybe she's just gonna use her basic attack, because this basic attack is actually not that good. It's the mind control and the insanity that I don't like. Holy crap, that is 45 damage on their hero right there. Thank you very much. And then teleport Cthulhu out over here. The insanity and mind control are easily the strongest things we have, so we're really just trying to put those on anyone that we get the chance to. You, go insane. Thank you. All right, hero 1 actually down, thank God. Another group of units over here. We just trying to isolate everything we can there. And then you know what, while I'm at it, let's just start eating a couple of corpses. Okay, just hold for one more turn. Okay, good. The insane person is dealing some insane damage. Wow, okay. The undead that I've summoned are tanking in super well. Cthulhu's actually taking a lot of damage himself. And I just witnessed a unit explode into oblivion. I don't know what that was. Wait, they're fleeing? Oh, yes, yes, yes. I think we got their morale so low that they actually decided that fleeing made a lot more sense in terms of trying to win than anything else. And don't mind if I am gonna take advantage of that. Hey, what you doing over there? You didn't really run far enough, did you? Oh my God. But that is nearly the entire enemy army dead. That is 300 research, 100 war spoils, 24 souls. Oh, and the city with, wait, I killed so many units, I got almost 60 food. All right, sweet. So Cthulhu also got to level 4, which is fantastic. So now we go and level up. We get all of his typical stuff, but he can also choose a signature skill. So this has 3 different branches we can go down. The first is Madcaster, and this one essentially has a just varying random effects. It is kind of cool because it makes all of your spells super insanely good. You can keep casting spells like crazy in terms of mana, but we're gonna have so much mana, it doesn't really matter. Mindbreaker is pretty good because it allows us to turn people completely insane for a pretty decent amount of time. But the one that I want is Flesh Weaver. This one is going to give us possession, so we can target a non-hero friendly unit to give them empower. This gives them plus 40% damage and kills them in 2 turns. But then they resurrect at the end of the battle. It also spawns 2 fleshlings at the start of every combat, and I'll show you what those do. All right, so now that we've broken the walls, we can go ahead and just quickly do this siege battle. There's really nothing here but one guy. I'm not even gonna bother to resurrect because I could use those souls to get necromancers. Now, the great city of Arcadia with its, 2 people. Goodbye. Oh, perfect. So Spawnkin is also ready, and that means that I could use this on my mole men, and that is going to transform them into, you know, being a little bit smaller. But it is overall a pretty decent net positive. Also, something that's worth considering is there are these umbral nests everywhere. They are bringing umbral demons into the world. They seem to be winning. Now, that's not actually that bad for us because we like the umbral areas. As a matter of fact, we do get a building down here, which is called an Altar of Marching Gloom, and we do want to actually put one of those down pretty soon. It's gonna start converting the entire world into the umbral area and make it pretty uninhabitable. Also, it seems like there is significantly more enemies over here than I was expecting. And I'm just gonna start the siege over here. This is gonna make things a little more tricky and at least put them on a bit of a clock. All right, fantastic. They are gonna attack out on us immediately. And I am feeling pretty confident because we are about to get 450 research from killing 3 heroes. Again, just like before, I am fairly sure that we're gonna need to kind of sit in the back for this fight and try and camp in this corner because their units are way better than ours in a frontal fight. These are also what the fleshlings look like. They're very aesthetic, and the way they move is even better. They just, whoa, 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 whoa. All right, here they come. They've stacked all their buffs on top of themselves, and this is gonna be a scary one. Although, they did actually perfectly line up for me to do this, so I could empower one of these little goobers, and then, you know, just have at 'em, buddy. That's right. They just explode. All right, I've built the wall. It's just a big wall of halberds and skeleton spearmen and then some archers behind them. They've got a crap load of buffs and healing, apparently. It's kind of weird to see one of these eldritch people who is pretty much not about being offensive and almost entirely defensive and angelic. Unfortunately, though, we are trying to just resurrect lots and lots of zombies from them being dead, and that turns out to be a very strong strategy. Necromancers can only do that once, but the main part of the necromancer that's strong is the fact that they can strengthen them pretty much every turn. And then, of course, we have the matchlocks who are literally just sitting here and doing crap like this. Oh, that could not possibly be more perfect. Oh, so much status. Wait, I now have a 100% chance to eldritch control certain units. That is, I mean, I'm okay with that. You hit them for 60? My God, that doesn't even seem fair. Oh, also, I didn't know that matchlocks were, you know, essentially melee units. They have a 70% chance to hit at point blank. And then when I give them the buff, I wonder, does it just go up to like 100%? Yes, it is literally, it just turns into a shotgun. That is so perfect that this is always what it was meant to be. Okay, guys, that seems like a little bit of overkill. Yeah, we are genuinely getting to the point where we have an insane chance to just hit anyone with any of these abilities as Cthulhu. I don't know if it's just him leveling up or it's just him gaining the confidence to believe in himself, but either way, I'm all for it. I wanted to try and prevent her from running away, so I just hit her with the taunt instead. Oh, and now she's just gonna sit here and try and attack our dude who is an absolute tank and riding a death beetle. Ba-boom! So that is gonna get us just some silly amounts of loot. We obviously lost. Losing the mage locks was pretty bad, but we can just re-recruit them. And this should allow us to get a bunch of undead as well. 450 research. Well, we can recruit a couple new units over there at least, which is pretty nice. All right, great. Now we are on to our tier 2 books. So if I go into our tome library, you see there are many different tiers of books all around. So now that we've unlocked tier 2, we can go with the Tome of Souls, which is going to be really, really good. That allows us to resurrect bone horror reanimations, which are really, really good when we kill higher tier units. Later on, we get to do even crazier things like battlefield reanimation, all friendly undead come back to life, raise an undead army where we just summon a full stack of undead, and all kinds of absolutely ridiculous things. Now, on the map, one of our overarching goals is also to try and spread gloom everywhere in the umbral abyss. So I built this altar of marching gloom, and every few turns, or every turn, I forget, it's gonna start spreading gloom all over the place. Every unit will suffer a whole lot of debuffs, but specifically my units will gain plus 10 morale, plus 12 hit points per turn on the world map. I get more knowledge for all the gloom terrain that I have, and I ignore pretty much all the penalties from it. Now, I think the wall has been, yes, okay, so the wall has been breached, which means we can attack, and there's not really a massive reason to do this. I'm probably just gonna auto-resolve this right now. There we go. Give another 300 research. And she is super, super dead. Oh, wow, we could spiritually guide her to Mage Haven. Nah, we're gonna trick her to conjure up money. So that is 1 down of the 6 great mages, and 3, 4, 5 to go. Yeah, I'm math. Here's the thing, I do really like Flame Wall the City. I like its location, I like all of it. The thing is, it would be a whole lot better if my people lived there. Maybe I should be careful about this whole evil alignment thing, but I don't think I'm gonna be. All right, it's official. We're broke. And we're being invaded down here, but I think we could deal with that with a bunch of mage lock gunners and necromancers. Holy crap, okay, this is the kind of stuff that the Umbral is sending at us. None of the Umbral units seemingly are very numerous. There's only 4 of them, but they are pretty high tier. I mean, there's just these extremely strange creatures, which I suppose is somewhat hypocritical considering what we are. Although I guess they are not particularly immune to being mind controlled because it seems that is still very, very possible. Sadly for them though, they're also not very good at getting surrounded and then beat down in melee. Okay, you know, maybe they are actually good at that. I take that back. All right, still, surrounding them in undead when we summon is relatively decent as a strategy. I can also actually raise our first bone horror, which is a slightly more advanced undead unit that we can put into the army. And that is actually, ooh, that is That is a real beauty. Also, I love how these, the undead bowmen, if you look at it from this angle, they just look really, really sassy. Like the, Your alignment has changed from very evil, okay, to pure evil. All right, I'm gonna grind a little bit up until I fight whatever this is. My God, this is literally just a tank. Okay, now this was a little unintended. So I was not expecting to fight the super tank with most of my army actually dead and currently resurrecting. Actually, I think this thing takes up 2 tiles, has multiple kinds of ammunition that it can load, and is generally pretty dang scary. Oh my God. It just destroyed the whole unit and then kept moving. Ooh. Okay, well, it's a good thing that I brought a considerable amount of fodder to the front. They've also got their own mage locks, which is unfortunate. Please don't friendly fire. Oh, thank God. 38 damage. So what I did get, though, is an item called the Crypt Blade, which as soon as it kills someone, it immediately turns them into another squad of decaying zombies. And because this guy has a decent chance of inflicting soulbound on people anyways, they might just die and then turn back into zombies a second time. And please tell me this just kills them. Thank God. Wait, he somehow turned into decaying zombies himself? This is getting a little out of hand. All right, now all I have to hope is that they blow away almost 2 full groups of units. Oh, that's nice. And there's another group of temporary zombies. Actually, wait, I just remembered. I have an ability I could use way over here. Oh my God, even more. Oh, come on, he just friendly fired Cthulhu. He turned around so fast. He's like, who is that? The end of this battle is just turning into a steam tank essentially surrounded by zombies. Surprisingly, they're actually doing a considerable amount of damage. All right, now I just have to hope that the tank doesn't turn around and blow everything up. Okay, well, it does. And of course, I'm just gonna finish this off by using a cryo blade and then immediately turning it into a new group of undead. Okay, to make that whole combo thing even crazier in terms of resurrecting units, now we are gonna get plus 10 combat casting points per unit death or kill in combat. What that means is that every time one of our units dies or we kill a unit, we can cast more spells, which means that we could just keep summoning more units to cast more spells, which lets us summon more units and cast more spells. Oh my God, I just autopiloted into a random fight and I didn't realize what we've been turning the map into. The umbral abyss is actually starting to leak through into the other world, or our world, and we kind of need to go back through to close it because there's a lot of stuff that's coming through. Also, Cthulhu has so many abilities. They are indeed beginning to go. I have to scroll to access all of them. And also, I have a 100% chance of inflicting most of these things now. That is a little busted. It was the first turn and I was able to inflict all of these debuffs on this one poor guy, and he's about to go insane and maybe even attack the guy behind him and damage everyone. Okay, I ended that battle with 160 casting points. I've only got 85 max, and I barely lost any units. If I started losing more of my summoned units, I could have had upwards of like 200 or 300 casting points, which means that I could just cast unlimited things. I am looking around the world right now and it is so ruined. There are umbral abysses just spewing out everywhere. Up here is a complete mess. Down here is getting overrun. My own area is kind of getting overrun. And the rest of the world doesn't really look a whole lot better. All right, so unfortunately, we're gonna have to go into the umbral abyss and find whatever is creating all of this. I did have to send a few of my armies back though, because I was being ransacked everywhere else. So fighting the umbral abyss with this army is essentially just like playing tower defense, because my entire army right now is just ranged units that then proceed to summon more zombies. So as long as this guy literally just eats units instantly and looks like 2 floating ball sacks. And honestly, there are a few things more terrifying than a floating ball sack. Wait, what? He just ate my hero. Well, around now is the time that I'm very glad that I have a lot of guns, because I really don't think I want that thing near me. Wait, I just killed a summon and got back more zombies. Are you telling me that summons can spawn zombies too? All right, oh, wait. He respawns? Oh, he's not gone. How was your time in the super abyss? My lord, the umbral taint. Okay, that That's a little on the nose. Wait, I'm sorry. There's another evil guy? I met this random dude like a billion years ago, and apparently he's actually pretty evil. I mean, not nearly as evil as me, but still. Oh no, my alignment changed from pure evil to only very evil. Well, I gotta fix that. Okay, I think we've actually found the umbral nest down here, which is going to... Okay. Well, the game does not seem to think I have a terribly good chance of winning this. And quite frankly, I can see exactly why. All right, I am gonna need to cheese the absolute crap out of this fight. So I am gonna bunker in this corner, but try and stall for as much time as I can, and just cast as many infections as possible on every single unit in the army so they all turn into zombies. Okay, you know, I wasn't expecting to cover that much ground in one turn. The bone dragon is kind of the biggest problem for the obvious reason that it is a bone dragon. Wait, you're kidding me. Does this actually work? Oh, we can make the dragon go insane. All right, I'm doing everything I can right now to stay alive because this dragon is single-handedly the biggest threat we have right now. I think I can use decaying to make it so it won't try and regenerate any health. And slowly we're beginning to get a little bit more zombie action regenerating. Okay, 40 damage right in the back. Actually, wait, we might be able to kill it this turn. If I run these zombies back... Oh, thank God. I think the actual MVPs right now is just a group of gunners that are sitting in the forest way in the corner. Okay, please, whatever you do, don't like resurrect. Okay, I don't know if they have resurrection spells for the dragon. As much as they are killing my necromancers, they're not killing the guy that stands behind them and then just shoots them at point blank for 40 damage. I also have this ability. I'm not really sure what this does. I just throw a tornado up. That really looks like he's peeing, and it made him wet. Okay, I think we've got it unlocked now because we just have so many undead spawning that they really can't do anything about it right now. I've got 150 casting points and I have been casting every single turn this entire game. I can't physically use any more spells. Okay, now they're running away and we've pretty much won. And that's it. We did lose a couple of units, but overall it was a pretty big win. That destroys the umbral thing. Please just walk around me. Oh, that is so unnerving. I didn't actually realize, apparently you could build an outpost to the umbral, so we're just gonna build one right over here, because this is a very special area, apparently. Oh, wait, I actually had no idea about this. Apparently there are little dwellings in the umbral area, so they are demanding that I make a sacrifice so we could be nice and friendly. It's also a good way to farm my alignment down, because I am, okay, I'm at -105. I did not realize it could go below the -100. Okay, so I have been grinding for a whole bunch of time to get to this umbral nest and be able to actually try and kill it. I've also unlocked over here in our spell the ability to turn our entire race into undead. It's pretty good. But most importantly, we now have the ability to bind ancient gold wonders. What that does is it is going to allow us to actually start to progress towards our victory condition pretty quickly. So up here, we do have one golden ancient wonder over here. So we just need to annex this under one of our cities. Annex a second golden wonder down here. This world tree will be our number 2. And I have still not found a good number 3 to occupy, but we do have a couple. I mean, there's one down here. There's another one, I think, all the way over to the right, another one over there. So we just need one more besides our current 2 that are really close by, and then we can begin the process of winning the game. In the meantime, I am finally going to get around to attacking this one umbral nest over here, and this, yeah, this is not necessarily an easy battle. They do have their tier 5 umbral unit over here, and this thing is an absolute beast, but we should be able to beat it with the power of, well, the fact that most of my army just has guns. The only real scary part of their army is the tyrant over here that actually, he legitimately looks like Cthulhu. I absolutely love the fact that most of my army is just really, really strong gunners that deal so much damage. We're not using advanced magics or anything crazy like that. No, we're literally just shooting them a ton. I mean, Cthulhu's doing his best, but every time they kill one of my summons, I've already got 150 casting points. I'm just resummoning all my units because they're just turning into zombies. Enemy unit literally exists. The group of mole man gunners standing 8 miles away. 70 damage! That one-shots half the units in the game. And it's not like these matchlock gunners are very far range either. I mean, I could literally just point blank these guys for their entire HP, 57 damage, and then he turns into a zombie. This is how I always figured Cthulhu Jr. would go down. Oh, he's routing. Yeah, where are you going, buddy? The only location with your name on it is the morgue. So with the umbral infestation gone, oh, that is a lot of units I can resurrect. We're gonna be able to clear this whole area out and then begin to move over to our Golden Age Wonder over here and then begin the process of actually trying to win the game. There we go. Okay, now we can turn our entire race into undead, which is gonna give them a whole bunch of bonuses, also make them look a whole lot cooler, Jesus. Because now that means that my necromancers, which I've put in pretty much every single army, cannot just resurrect normal undead, they could resurrect literally any unit. All right, and this is the perfect place in order to declare war. We're just gonna trespass multiple times all over these people's settlement, and then we are going to immediately declare war. Actually, I just realized the city-state is owned by another person who is allied with another person, so things are about to get a little hectic. So now we get to declare war and begin the, oh, that is a long siege. Oh, fantastic. I was hoping that they would attack out to fight me, but this is beautiful. This is literally just an entire army of tier 1 crappy units. I am going to resurrect all of them. All right, it looks like we've got this one in the bag. I have lost a crap load of units because, I mean, my units suck pretty badly. You can see how most of the corpses of the map are mine, but it's not really all that relevant because, you know, we've got the ability to teleport directly on top of people and then smack them for their entire HP. On top of the fact that most of my army is, again, just extremely expendable. And anything that doesn't die to the zombies dies to the guns. All right, there's a victory there, which, again, we lost a lot of decent units in terms of our tier 3 bone horrors, but we are gonna later be able to resurrect significantly better units in terms of bone dragons. And, oh my God, the list. I mean, all of these units are so bad, but I may as well, right? I mean, it doesn't hurt me, 150 souls. Okay, I love this. I get an event, which is, it allows me to weaken the walls of the city I'm sieging, except, you know, the downside is, if you take the good one, you get evil alignment. So obviously, I'm just gonna take the evil alignment because I'm literally at negative 145. I cannot get any more evil. And now the city is almost dead. And I want this city because it is right next to this lost tower, which is a gold ancient wonder. There is another gold ancient wonder right up here. And then there is the last one that we want to claim, which I believe is directly right there. Hold on, I get the ability to summon and control a unit of true evil origin. It's a penguin. They have low maintenance, experts said that's it. They don't have any ability. Somehow they do frost damage. They have lifesteal? I think these are undead penguins, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, now finally over here, there we go. We should be able to just instantly auto-combat this, take this city, raise a random nobody skeleton warrior, sure, why not? And then we're going to immediately annex this, you know, kill 4 people, it's okay. So then we can come over here and claim the lost tower. And we're just gonna come over here and raise yet another city and begin another siege. We're also gonna do our best to sacrifice a few more thralls to our great lord and savior in the void over here. Just as we get an event, declaring wars is always unjust. Oh no, well, I've already declared war on pretty much everyone I'm gonna have to fight for the rest of the game. And better yet, we have also gotten our Eldritch Pact. That means that we could work with Ashur in the Void in order to buy some of his stuff. Wait, I could buy a spell that just straight up sends someone to the abyss. All right, well, with this city being annexed currently, my armies are rapidly going to be increasing in size. My income is relatively good, but I'm also just resurrecting everything I can and training everything I can. We've pretty much got to the point where we had won. Originally, I was gonna go through all of the different gold monuments, but I'm realizing at this point that we've essentially already gotten that. Well, you do also need to get a tier 5 tome and then research Age of Shadow and then launch it and then defend the wonders for 15 turns. So for that reason, I am gonna end the video here. Obviously, this video is sponsored by Paradox, but I do really like the Age of Wonders series. And coming back to, I've never played Age of Wonders 4 before this video, really. But I am actually really happy with how this turned out, because this game is a lot of fun. Age of Wonders Planetfall will always be my pick for the most underrated game in terms of, like, this style, because honestly, I absolutely love that game. But hey, any game that has Cthulhu, and then other Cthulhu, and then multiple other Cthulhus beyond the first 2 Cthulhus is a game that I can get behind. Either way, thanks for watching. See ya!